What is up, guys? Chronica here, bringing you a No Man's Sky video today. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to get as many emergency broadcast receivers as you possibly want. You're going to need these to farm Direlict Freighters and to get those nice S-Class modules for your freighter. I'm also going to go into a brief explanation about what a broadcast receiver is and how you normally get those, and at the end of the video I'm going to include a method to add over 100,000 nanites per hour to this emergency broadcast receiver loop. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so once you're out in space and you're wanting to find one of those derelict freighters to get your freighter module blueprints or nanites or whatever else you're trying to farm freighters for, you're going to want one of these emergency broadcast receivers. Now, the way they work, you just activate them and then you jump into Pulse Drive, and it's going to start scanning frequencies down there on the bottom right, and once it finds one, it's going to tell us to exit Pulse Drive just like that. And there you go, there's a derelict freighter for you. You're free to land, go through it, get to that engineering room, and then claim your freighter blueprints. So if you want one of these emergency broadcast receivers, there's a couple of ways you can get one. You can come to any space station and go up to the scrap dealer, and he will offer to sell you it says acquire coordinates, and you can purchase one of these emergency broadcast receivers, and each time you do, the costs will go up. So if you're looking for those modules and you're just spending money, you're eventually going to spend hundreds of millions of units just to find your derelict freighters. Now, the second option, and you have to have completed at least one derelict freighter mission, either through the campaign early on or just buying one of these, you can go to the Anomaly and approach Helios, and every week he will give you one free emergency broadcast receiver. Alright, so now we're going to get to the main purpose of this video. I'm going to be showing you how to get infinite amounts of these emergency broadcast receivers in order for you to farm these derelict freighters and get those upgrade modules that we all want. So I'm going to show you what my inventory looks like right off the rip. I've got one stack of these emergency broadcast receivers, and then I've got two more. So just take notice of the amount that I have. I've got 27 total. You're also going to want a couple of one stacks of either tritium or oxygen, just something that other people have on their person and that you can send to them to trigger an autosave that I'll show you later on. Another requirement, you have to be fresh off of your ship with that autosave created, and you also have to be eligible to claim your weekly emergency broadcast receiver from Helios. If you've already claimed yours this week, then unfortunately you're going to have to wait until the next week to start using this method. So we're going to run over to Helios now, and once you're at Helios, you're going to initiate his dialogue, and you're going to select the second option it presents you, ask about derelict freighters, and boom, you've got one more in your inventory. I'm just going to go ahead and show you. So now I've got 28 total. I've got 3 in this stack now. So now we're going to find a player here in the Anomaly. Normally you can find some hanging out over here in the research bay or also by Nada or Polo. I'm going to go up here and see if I can trade one of these to another player. I'm going to quick transfer my tritium, teleport to nearby player, and boom, sent tritium. Sometimes their inventory will be full, so you'll have to find another player to send it to. So once you've sent an item to a player, open up your options and go to autosave, and you'll notice that there's a new fresh autosave right after you sent that item to another player. You're going to reload your autosave and just give it a minute, depending on what console you're playing on, whether it be last gen, next gen, or just how fast your PC is. That will ultimately determine how fast you can reload your autosave and also how many of these per hour you can acquire. Alright, so once that autosave is reloaded, you're back at your ship. It doesn't actually put you back to where that autosave was created, so up there or anything. And you can see at the bottom right, I can speak to Helios again to get another one of those emergency broadcast receivers, and I'll open up my inventory and I'll show you. I've still got those 28. So essentially, every time you run back up to Helios, you claim your emergency broadcast receiver, and then you trade to another player, you reload that autosave, and it's just an infinite loop. Now, something that is very important, make sure that if you go claim an emergency broadcast receiver, you don't go back to your ship and create a new autosave, because that'll make it to where you can't get another one until the next week. You have to be in this like loop sequence. So like if you just trade to another player and then you reload your autosave, and you see at the bottom right of your screen that you can go claim another one from Helios, then you're safe to go back to your ship and proceed with all, your exploring of the galaxy. But if you have just gotten one from Helios and you just go back to your ship, you get sidetracked, you will not be able to do this again until the next week. So that's very important. All right, so now I'm going to show you a special bonus, how to incorporate this emergency broadcast receiver loop into a loop that also gives you over 100,000 nanites per hour, depending on how many free inventory slots you have. So it's the same start. You're going to start out at your ship from a fresh autosave. You're also going to need the ability to acquire a free emergency broadcast receiver from Helios. And you're still going to want to have a few stacks of your one stack items, whether it be tritium, oxygen, whatever you want. So we're going to run over to Helios. Once you're at Helios, we're going to do two things this time. We're going to select the first option. So if you've been out and you've been getting mineral data, you press 1 or select this first option, and he's going to give you some nanites for that. As you can see, I got 120 nanites from that. We're going to open his chat again. We're going to get that Direlict Freighter emergency broadcast receiver. And then we're going to run over to this guy over here, Ares. We're going to open up his dialogue. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to transmit our milestone data. See how many nanites that gives me. 300. So I've got 420 nanites. We're going to open him back up, and this is where we're going to start our nanite loop as well. So we're going to go to purchase upgrades, and we're going to look for the one that costs the most. Let's see here. It's going to be different for everybody. So the one that costs the most for me is the underwater protection module. So if you're on PC, you can press E to increase the amount that you can buy from Ares. And you should be able to do this on console, but I will say that Ares is the only NPC that you can purchase like multiple of one item. So we're going to go and we're going to get as many of these as we can. So I don't have enough for that. Alright, so I just bought 3,400 nanites worth. And you can see my inventory is full of these modules. And notice how many nanites I have right now. I've got 121,500. So we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to send one of these tritiums to another player. Alright, I sent the tritium, and remember, 121,000 nanites. So now, we're going to reload our autosave that was just created. So we've reloaded our autosave. I'm going to open up my inventory, and boom, there's 124,000 nanites. The nanites that I just spent on all these modules did not save the progress of the nanite transaction. So essentially, this loop is going to be a bit different. So after you've purchased all these modules, you're just going to go straight back to Ares on this loop. You're not going to go back to Helios, because after we go to Ares, we're going to sell all these modules, and we're just going to run back to our ship and create a new autosave. This is really important. Sometimes it gets confusing. You might just kind of have a derp moment and just pick up one of those receivers and run back to your ship, and that will make it to where you can get another emergency broadcast receiver until next week. So we're gonna go to Ares, we're gonna purchase upgrades, and then we're going to sell all the upgrades that we just bought. So 2,800. So boom, now our nanites are at 127,000. We just sold back the modules that we essentially brought back for free. So I call this like the sell loop versus the buy loop that I just showed you. So after you sell the modules, you're gonna run back to your ship. Once you're at your ship, you're gonna get in your ship, you're gonna get out, and boom, you've created a new restore point. So I'll show you the loop again. So after you've created that restore point, now, so this is the buy phase of the loop. We're gonna go back to Helios, we're gonna claim that module, we're gonna turn in our data. We're going to go to Ares, buy the modules, and then we're gonna trade with the player. And take notice one more time, I'm at 124,000 nanites after purchasing all the modules. Gonna send the item to this player. I'm gonna reload my autosave. And boom, we're back at 127,000 nanites with the full inventory of these modules to go back and sell. So after selling those modules once again, I'm at 130,000 nanites. I started at 124 in this section of the video, and I've increased by 6,000. Like I said, the amount of nanites that you can get from this depends on how many free inventory slots you have. I've got all these upgrades in my inventory, so it does kind of reduce the amount that I can make per hour. If you're really into this, you can delete all your upgrades so you can get a full inventory of these modules. And I would like to give credit to FullSizedGaming. I was actually doing this nanite farming method, and I stumbled upon the fact that it also works with these emergency broadcast receivers. So I hope this video helped you out. Again, I'm gonna go over the process of doing each of these methods. So for the emergency broadcast receiver method, you're going to start from your ship. You're going to walk up to Helios after being eligible for a free receiver. You're going to claim your receiver. You're going to send an item to a player. You're going to reload your autosave, and then you're going to rinse and repeat the exact same process. And make sure you don't get back in your ship if you haven't traded with a player and initiated that autosave, because it will keep you from being able to get another one. And then that second loop, you're going to start off from your ship, you're going to go to Helios, you're going to send him your data, you're going to claim your emergency broadcast receiver, you're then going to go to Ares, you're going to send him your data, you're going to purchase as many modules as you can that are of the highest value, you're going to trade an item to a player, you're going to reload your autosave that was just created, and then you're just going to head straight back to Ares, sell your modules, then you're going to run back to your ship and create a new autosave. Once you've gotten out of your ship, you're free to redo the loop as many times as you want. Just make sure that you don't get back into your ship without being eligible to claim another emergency broadcast receiver. Alright guys, well I hope this video was helpful. Again, credits to FullSizedGaming on his nanite farm. I would not have figured out this thing with the emergency broadcast receivers without kind of just doing the loop over and over and noticing that it goes up every single time. But I hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Please give me a like and subscribe. It'd really help me out. Thanks guys, this has been Chronic. Have a good one.